All right, everyone. We're back with a new episode of the podcast. And right away, I want to apologize for missing Wednesday's episode, but it is with good reason. I am now a married man. So, yeah, we got married on Valentine's Day. How romantic, I know. But, yeah, there's actually a woman out there who, in theory, wants to spend the rest of her life with me. So I am incredibly happy, really excited about my future with her. Her name is Jennifer, and she is, the love of my life. Really, just an amazing woman. So that is why there was no episode on Wednesday. It is Friday, and this is going to be a rather short episode, I think. I want to talk about a book today. And I do get asked every once in a while, books to read on how to become more successful, or certain things on sales or marketing, or, you know, writing or content creation, all that stuff. But the one book that I recommend and I give the most is called The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. And it's a very short book, and it is essentially the story. It takes place back in Jesus times, right? There is a guy called Hafid who is the greatest salesman in the world, and opens with him. He's already at the end of his life, and he is dismantling his trade empire, and his trusty servant is asking him what's going on, why is he doing this, and he tells him this whole story about how he started as a lonely camel boy and became the greatest salesman in the world because the guy he was working for gave him these ancient scrolls on how to become the greatest salesman in the world. Now, a couple things here. You're going to find this book in the religious section of your bookstore. A lot of people have a problem with that. I just got a new copy of it yesterday, and it was in the Christian life section of Barnes and Noble. So right off the bat, that does kind of turn some people off. But don't let that deter you from picking up this book. Second problem some people have with this book is that they expect it to be some kind of sales manual, to have like some sales techniques or closing techniques or prospecting or cold calling. It's not that type of book. I've seen plenty of reviews on Amazon where people go, "Oh, this book is dumb because I need help with closing and I need some closing techniques," and and as an aside, if you have to close very hard when you're trying to make a sale, then you haven't done your job up front. The close should really be the easiest part of the sales process, and I'll get into that some other time. But again, this book, The Greatest Salesman in the World. So, despite those, or instead of complaining about, well, it's a Christian book or a religious book, or there's no sales techniques in a book called The Greatest Salesman in the World, you need to look at what it really is. And this is really mastering the mental and emotional aspects of being a salesman, of being really in business or even in life. So again, it's set up to where it goes through these scrolls, right? So each from the middle of the book on, each chapter is one scroll, right? And basically these are kind of affirmations that you're going to be repeating on a daily basis. So the way the book is set up, you're supposed to read each quote unquote scroll, each chapter, for 30 days straight, right? And you read it in the morning, in the afternoon, and before you go to sleep. So just to give you a sense of kind of how things are. So the first scroll starts out, "Today I begin a new life. Today I shed my old skin, which hath too long suffered the bruises of failure and the wounds of mediocrity. Today I am born anew, and my birthplace is a vineyard where there is fruit for all." So it's kind of that kind of stuff. It's very positive thinking type of stuff. But each chapter, each scroll builds on the following one. So the next one is the refrain, the mantra is, "I will greet this day with love in my heart," and it goes on to talk about how you do that. The next one is, "I will persist until I succeed," which is basically the ultimate success formula, right? If you never give up, you will succeed. It goes on to say, the next one, "I am nature's greatest miracle," which is true in my case, definitely. Then it says, "I will live this day as if it were my last." That's a oldie but a goodie, Act like this is the last day of your life. "Today I will be master of my emotions." This is one of my favorite chapters of the whole book. Being in sales or being in business in general, or just life in general, we come across these difficulties, these heartaches, where sometimes we let our emotions get the best of us, and we do really need to master our emotions. But again, that's just part of what's going on in this book. Again, it's a short book, but you're supposed to be reading each scroll, / chapter, I usually do it for a week at a time. 30 days seems to be a little long for me, but you can definitely follow the instructions to a T if you'd like. But I definitely recommend this book. It's great just to make you feel better, to get your mind correct, and to start pushing yourself in the right direction, whether you were in sales or you're a freelancer or you're just a manager or a business person, entrepreneur, a teacher. This book will help you in any aspect of your life. That's why I'm so high on this book. I give this book out a lot. I've bought many copies because I continually read it over and over again, and it gets worn out, and the pages start falling out, and I got to go get a new copy. So I just picked this up. I picked this up yesterday when I was out shopping with my new wife. We went and got this book, so that also made it a little more special for me. So I recommend you guys go out, get this book. If there's not a bookstore or Barnes & Noble, I think Barnes & Noble is basically the only bookstore left, right? Borders is gone. So if you can't get it, if you don't have a Barnes & Noble close by, they have it on Amazon. They also have a Kindle version of it as well. It's $8. It's probably going to be the best $8 you will ever spend. So that is the episode for today, and I promise you we will have another episode come Monday. So thanks again for listening. Go out and get it, The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino, and you will not be sorry. All right, we will see you next episode.